of water? There's good treats. You good treat? Yeah? That's good. We're going to do full cage cleans tomorrow morning for everybody. Well, maybe not everyone. Tomorrow's Saturday, so the Heart and the Trio, and then on Sunday will be Riley and Kathy and Bruno and Mateo. Oh, hi everyone. I didn't see you there. Okay, I know that's hard to believe because someone had to have set up the camera. Obviously, that was me. Anyway, I was just trying to be silly and funny. So, some of you might know, or most of you should probably by now know, that this past Wednesday morning I lost another guinea pig, Tilly, and it was extremely unexpected. I just want to give everyone kind of like a better idea of what actually happened. So Tuesday, I went to my friend's house. Before I left to go to my friend's house, I made sure everyone had plenty of hay, filled up water bottles, they had their veggies, the usual routine that I would do before going out somewhere. And at that point, Tilly was acting completely normal. She was eating, she was drinking, peeing, pooping. She was being a normal guinea pig. There were absolutely no signs, no indications that anything was wrong. Other than the obvious factors that we already knew from before, which was the fur loss that she had been experiencing for however long now. I kind of lost track, to be honest. But she had been to the vet, several times. They checked her for ovarian cysts. It came back negative. They checked for her hormone imbalances. It came back negative. They checked for Cushing's disease. It was negative. They checked for thyroid disease. It was negative. So there was no explanation for the fur loss. And I didn't think further about it because everything came back negative. And with having limited exotic vets in my city to begin with, let alone coming up with the money to get second opinions, third opinions, more testings, it would have been too much stress on her too. So once I had those final results, I went with it and I believed it. Now, whatever happened with Tilly might have nothing to do with the fur loss. There's no way of knowing because to get a necropsy done is just not feasible. Sorry, lavender kind of distracted me for a moment. But getting a necropsy done is not feasible, and I've already laid her to rest in the garden. I planted a hosta plant in her memory. And what I like about hosta plants is that they come back every year. And each year they come back fuller and more beautiful. But this video is kind of just to give everyone a reality update of, how I'm doing, how the guinea pigs are doing, and everything. So the first thing I did, naturally after she passed away, she was in the cage when she took her last breath. So I had let her be there for a while. Plus, she was not doing well overnight. The only guinea pig that went near her was Tokyo. All the others kept running away from her. It's almost like they knew she was going and they had already said goodbye kind of thing. I don't know how guinea pig brains work. What I do know was that I've lost 7 other guinea pigs in the last 3 years, almost 4. So it's not my first time dealing with these emotions or anything. And each and every time it gets harder and harder. And I think for my situation, what really tugs at my heartstrings is just knowing the fact that this year could be one of the worst years for all of them. Because out of all 13 remaining guinea pigs, there's only 3 that are not seniors. But age has no factor because backtrack to January, Lucy was only 3 years old and she had passed away. So tomorrows are never promised. And it sucks. but my goal is to try and get myself back together, like pick up the pieces of the broken heart, so to speak, and try and just put forth the rest of my love and care into the remaining guinea pigs who deserve it. Oh my God, Lavender, you're so freaking cute. The way you drink and your little tongue. Oh my God. You're melting my heart right now. Sorry, Lavender's drinking. It is just so cute the way she does it. Anyways, so the last couple of days have been really hard. The first thing I did, with Tilly, I wrapped her in a blanket and I placed her in a little box into the freezer because I didn't know if I'd be able to bury her that same day or not. I had to go out to, get more soil, buy the plant and all of that stuff. I know I don't have to necessarily plant anything when I do this, but it just makes me feel better. We'll leave it with that. So I wanted to go get the plant, and then my friend had offered to drive me to the store to do that, so that worked out great because I really didn't want to take the bus, but if I had to, I would have. Yeah. So I picked up the hosta plant, picked up some more soil, just a couple of small bags at the dollar store, nothing fancy. And it was ridiculously hot that day. It was like 32 with the humidity. So it was just trying to dig the grass up. And I was dripping sweat. I had sweat rolling into my eyeballs, burning. It was that hot. So I want to try and do it quick. So it's not a perfect job, but she is laid to rest. I do plan on getting maybe another bag of soil or maybe some more, what do you want to call it? Not compost, not, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it. Mulch. I want to maybe get another bag of mulch just to make it pretty to match the other side of the garden. The way it is, I have my regular garden, like let's say right here, and then I have my hose. So I started the new garden section just on the other side of the hose. And so it's only a small little spot with some stones to border it, just so that when lawn maintenance comes to mow the lawn, that they don't, destroy my plant, because that would break my heart even more. But yeah, so it's bordered, it's gonna look pretty. And over time of the summer, probably I'm going to work on trying to expand that whole garden section to be along my back fence line. And then that way it'll be ready and in preparation for whenever any of the others go, which I am praying to God is not anytime soon. Because emotionally, I can't handle it. Most people don't really talk about this stuff because it's a very touchy subject. It's very raw and emotional, and nobody really wants to think about their beloved pets dying. But it is a reality that we all do have to face at some point in our lives, in their lives. And so I guess I just want to be a little more prepared for whenever that will happen. Because it could happen tomorrow. It could happen next month. It could happen in 6 months. We don't know. We just never know. Winter more hay. Yes. Good. But overall, emotionally, I'm having a hard time. I'm struggling. The first thing I did with the cage after her passing and, putting her body in the freezer and getting ready, I did a full cage clean of this cage on Wednesday morning, which worked out good in that sense only because it was their scheduled, excuse me, I farted. It was their regular scheduled cage clean day, so that part worked out good. The downside, not really a downside. I mean, the downside is that Tilly passed away. But what I wanted to do was try and change up the layout of their cage completely as much as I could, so that, you know, they wouldn't necessarily have the smell of Tilly lingering, because I don't want any of them to like fall into a depression or anything. Because with large herds, you sometimes will have little cliques. Kind of like, think of high school. You know, you have a bunch of students, but then you have your individual cliques or groups that, you know, you all would hang out with. And so anyways, Tilly might have had specific guinea pigs that she preferred to be around more than others and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure that they wouldn't fall into a depression or anything. And they seem to be handling it pretty okay so far. Like I said, Tokyo was the only one that was like right beside Tilly that entire night. When I got home from my friend's house on Tuesday, I had noticed Tilly was behaving in a very strange manner that I had never seen before. Normally when I'd go up to Tilly, she would run away. Like, if I go up to Mocha right now, she runs away. She runs away. They all normally would run away. Sometimes they'll let me quickly scratch them a little bit, but for the most part, they run away. Guinea pigs are natural prey animals. It's normal for them to do this. But Tilly was underneath the hammock stand, which is right there. At the time, it was further in the middle here. And I had like one cozy bed underneath the one side, and then I had just the empty side on this side. And she was underneath right there. And it almost seemed like she was struggling to stand up with her hind legs. And she tried to, and then she was doing a weird movement. Like, it looked like she was wiggling her butt. And I've never, ever, ever, ever seen that from her. So that was my number one indication of, oh my god, okay, like, Tilly, what's wrong? What's going on? And I wish they can speak our language to tell us, but they can't. And unfortunately, at that point in time, it was around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So, no transportation, no local exotic vets. That screams, there's literally not much I can do. Now, yes, I have 2 video calls left with Vetster that I could have spoken to an online vet. However, I've seen the signs of guinea pigs when they're dying. I saw it with Lucy. I saw it with Jane 3 years ago. It's a sad and scary sight, but I knew she was going. It was just when. Was it going to be sooner? Was it going to be the next morning? I didn't know. But there was nothing more that I could have really done for her. So I wrapped her up in that blanket that she's now with, and I held her for almost 3 hours. But I was starting to fall asleep. I was getting so tired. I was, at that point, when I first noticed that, I was getting ready to go to bed. I just wanted to go to bed. I was tired. I've been doing really well for the most part for going to bed early and being able to get up early, you know, at a normal 7:30, 8:30 in the morning time frame. And that's really good for me. But when I go to bed really late, then I end up sleeping in. I sleep half my day away, and then I just end up feeling isolated sometimes because then my schedule is thrown off. So then, you know, when I'm awake, most people are going to bed, so there's nobody to talk to, and I hate that feeling. So I've been trying to get myself back onto a more decent schedule, I guess you could say. And it was hard. I stayed up till about 3 or 4 in the morning. But at one point, I almost dropped her because I was nodding off. And I was on my bed, which was even harder. So at that point, I decided to place her back in the cage. And if it happened overnight, at least she would be surrounded with her cage mates. But she held on until the next morning when I walked in the room to check on her. So, yes, I witnessed her taking her last breath. I'm trying to record, sweetheart. I'm trying to record, Autumn. But yeah, it's been taking a toll on me. My anxiety has been pretty high. I've been waiting to find out when I'm getting my hay delivery. For now, I do have 3/4 left of the 50-pound oxbow hay that Marley and Cappy's previous owner had sent to me. So I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful for anyone else that had donated for me to get hay, because they would have been without if it wasn't for any of you. So thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. But if all goes as planned, I will be getting my hay order on Sunday. Right now it's Friday night. So hopefully I'll get it Sunday. And I'll be getting 6 bales. And then my plan is towards the end of summer, so around like late August, I will contact my hay supplier and get another 8 bales from her. And hopefully that will suffice me into next year around this time. That is the hopeful plan. But other than that, I tried to go live earlier today to do health checks, nail trims, weight checks, and so forth. And I'm going to be honest, because my anxiety has been so high, they're feeding off of that. And I was getting frustrated. Like Marley and Cappy, their nails are kind of like curved to the side because they are very senior pigs. And that can also just happen in general with guinea pigs that don't get proper care at the beginning stages of their life and so forth. And I'm not saying that's what it is for them. Don't take that the wrong way. But I was struggling and I was getting frustrated. I was swearing and I didn't like it, because that's not the type of personality I want to portray on my channel. So I ended up stopping the live and I deleted it. I used to think that that was ridiculous. I used to want people to see me in the natural and, what you see is what you get type of behavior, and that's not okay necessarily. That's not always a good thing, and I know that now. And I realize that this is getting to be a very long live, so I do apologize, but if you've stuck with me till now, thank you. But yeah, I struggled. It took me 30 minutes. More than that. Almost 45 minutes just to get through 3 guinea pigs. But I kept persisting. So after I started with Marley and Cappy, and then I moved on to Tokyo and so forth. But when I got to Tokyo, then I noticed something was off with her. She was having diarrhea. So that wasn't good. So I cleaned her bottom up, I got her nails trimmed, I weighed her. She's a good weight, which is great. But yeah, she had a foul smelling good chunk of diarrhea about that big on the towel. It almost made me hurl. It was bad. So the first thing I did after cleaning that up, I cleaned off her feet because she had poop stuck on her feet and everything. And then I gave her some Bedabac. And then after I got through all the weight checks, I gave them even more hay throughout the cage. I put some hay underneath the cardboard box. I put some hay underneath the fleece forest on this side. And I figured if she continued to have more mushy poop diarrhea into the night, then I would try and give her the activated charcoal and see if that helps. And if that didn't help, then by tomorrow morning I'd be on the video chat with Vetster. But so far it seems to have subsided. Crossing my fingers that everything is okay. And other than that, we proceeded with the rest of the guinea pigs with their nail trims, and they all did okay. But again, it was just a little frustrating because they're feeding off of my anxiety and I didn't like it, but I had to get through it because I had been putting it off for quite some time and I didn't want their nails to grow too long. Some of the guinea pigs. Hi, sweetie. Some of the guinea pigs had their, like, I guess you would, the equivalent of their pinky kind of thing on their front paw, where the nail is curled in and to the side, and it was getting long enough that if I had let it go even an extra week, it would have been into the foot pad. And then we would have potential bumblefoot issues, and we don't want that. So I just kept going. I'm like, okay, we're almost done this cage. We're almost done this one. By the time I finished with this cage, I was relieved. And I kept taking breaks in between each guinea pig. I sat down. I would, take a deep breath in, deep breath out to just kind of try and relax myself. Because it's not fair to them if my anxiety is too high. And even though I do have medication for my anxiety, it's not like I can just take another pill. I can't do that. It's, one dosage for the day. And I usually take that in the morning. And it also doesn't help. I've got a giant stress knot right here. And I'm sure you might be able to, see it. And it is almost next to impossible for me to be able to massage out my own stress knot. So I've been trying to do heat packs and cold packs and just try to relax. But I'm doing what I can to try and move forward. And that is the update so far with all of the girls and myself. I've got, let's see, next Thursday, June 12th, will be Mocha and Ginger's gotcha day? Is anybody else getting their November, your September, your October, one. That's right, because Tilly's gone. So June 12th would have been Tilly's gotcha day along with Mocha and Ginger. We're still going to do some sort of celebration. I don't know what or how. Maybe I'll try and do a 4-time video or something. But we will celebrate their gotcha day. And then on the 15th is my birthday. But I'm not going to be celebrating it. I might go out with some friends. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Because pretty much every penny I've got left in my wallet is going for the hay on Sunday. And then groceries next week. And that still leaves one extra week before my following payday before all that. So it's stressful, but we'll figure it out. We always do. And this video is getting super, super long because I'm just rambling. But while I have you here, let's just give them a little bit more hay until morning. They have enough in there. A lot of what's in here right now is small and dusty, so I don't like that. Then there's a fine dust, and I really don't like that. So I've been kind of trying to dig up the flakes. And then what I usually do is kind of just shake it out like that into the box to get rid of most of the dust. Why are you bar biting, Autumn? I'll do a pile there. small pile in there. Okay, you're almost done your pellets, so that's fine, we'll just put it there. And they still have the hay in there, so I'm gonna leave that be. You know what? It's okay. We can give them another little handful. Why not? Now, if I don't get the hay order on Sunday, that's when I will be really stressed. But one day at a time. And as I was told before, there is no timeline for grieving. There is absolutely no timeline for grieving. Did I go poop? One thing I do daily, make sure all the tables are sturdy. But everyone's got their hay. This is going almost half an hour. I think I will end it here. And just know that I just need to slowly take the time to kind of process everything and get through it. Things will get back to normal, hopefully soon. It's hard because, you know, losing a piggy, and then my birthday's coming up and their gotcha day, and then in another like 3 weeks it's the anniversary date of my husband's passing, so everything's just kind of all hitting boom boom boom, and it's rough. But we are not going to have a repeat from last year, so if I need to take a break, I will take a break. I'm not going to stress about it. The only thing that will be different is that I'm not really uploading any shorts as much as I was. But I do have plenty of long form videos scheduled for the next month or two, so you won't be missing much. But I will keep everyone updated, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.